Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of A Journey to Happiness. I'm so glad to be here. So, first of all, let me just start by saying I look a fucking mess. I have been working in the garden all day and planting flowers or trying to do a garden. We'll get to that in a minute. But I am a complete wreck. And I was going to take a shower first and try to do myself up. But you know what? It's almost 10 o'clock at night and I don't freaking feel like it. So, the next thing I want to say is I know I took a break for about a month. I did have a podcast last week with my BFF Vicky. So if you haven't checked that out, go back and listen to that because I think it's very insightful. And of course, I always love talking to my girl. But back to why I took a break, and I felt actually very guilty about taking that break. I kept thinking in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm letting my people down. Like because as a podcast listener, I get it. Like there's podcasts that I listen to religiously, and I look forward to every Monday when they come out, and occasionally they won't come out. Sometimes people need a break, and I get very disappointed and I get very like, oh my gosh, I want to hear them because they help me so much and they're not there. But when I started this podcast, the point of the whole thing was to take you on this journey with me, this journey to happiness, this journey through self-love and acceptance, and this journey through growth and transformation. And the point of it was the fact that, like, I'm still going through it. I've been in this journey for a few years now, but it's not like I've been here for a couple decades. I'm still going through it. And that was the whole point of the podcast was to like let people know that they're not alone and we're all going through our own growth and transformations. And so sometimes, we just need a break. And as much as I love being here and talking to all of you and, connecting, I was feeling blocked and I was feeling like I didn't have anything to say, which is really crazy because I'm like a chatty Cathy over here. I should have been named Gabby. Honestly, that should have been my name. Maybe I'll start going by that. Like I'm just going to change my name to Gabby. I don't know. But anyway, that's it's unlike me to not have anything to say, but I just didn't. So that's where I've been, but I'm back and I hope to keep putting these out every Monday, but we'll see. I don't want to make any promises. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. So today, actually, I have this new setup, which my dresser is like got this light over here. So if you're watching the visual on YouTube, sorry about that. So anyway, I want to talk today about how to feel better, just how to improve your mood and most likely live longer too. So I just want to kind of discuss some things. So I should take this back. One of the reasons I think that I haven't been like I took this month break was because I've been volunteering on Saturdays with a company called Good Works here in my county and like the surrounding counties in Southeast Ohio. And they are a Christian-based organization. And they do this program called Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and they run this through a lot of volunteer work. The offices are actually just like 2 minutes from my house. And basically, this program is where they go out and they help other people, like elderly people, with whatever they need. They build decks, they mow grass, they build connections with them, they do a lot of gardening. So I've been volunteering with this group, and so that's one of the reasons I've kind of been absent a little bit because normally I do my podcast on Saturday. I don't really have a batch right now because I went through all of those. So normally I do my podcast on Saturdays, but I've been so busy with volunteering that I only had Sundays, and Sundays is like my laundry day, and I'm doing all these other things. So anyway, long story short, I have been volunteering with this group. And what ended up happening, so I've done 6 Saturdays. They do it through the spring on Saturdays, and they do it through the summer, Monday through Friday, which I won't be able to do because I'm working. And then they do fall Saturdays again, which I will probably volunteer again because I loved it so much. But I went out with a woman who does gardens for people, and I started doing gardening. And the first like time or two, I was just so wore out and I was just like, oh, this sucks. Like what did I get myself into? But after doing this for a couple times, I began to realize that I felt so good. Like I would go out in the gardens and I would work like from 9 to 4 and I would just play in the dirt and pull weeds and plant vegetables and, talk to these folks. And I was out there in the sun. I was getting vitamin D in my body. I was in the dirt with nature, and I realized how good my mood was, how much I was improving, just my everyday life and feeling good inside. And that led me to this podcast. So I want to talk to you about the things that you can do in your everyday life to just feel better. And there, of course, the science tells us this, right? But if you would have asked me a couple months ago, like, yeah, I know what the science says. I know it says if we get more sunlight and if we eat cleaner and if we move our bodies for, I think they say like a half an hour each day, that we will feel better and our mood will be improved and we will live longer. But, and I do agree. I knew it was true because I'm a science person. I'm a nurse, so I'm a science person. And I know how I feel after I exercise, and I know I feel good. But it was kind of one of those things where I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Um, until it started happening, until I started doing these things. So how do we feel better? How do we, feel better and we can live longer? Because the science says that like when we do these things, we can live longer. So, one of the ways that we can do this is obviously by eating cleaner. So, this is a journey that I've been on the eating cleaner journey for over a year now. And let me just preface this by saying, when I say eat cleaner, I don't mean dieting. I'm not saying these fad diets, these low carb diets, these calorie counting diets. That's not what I'm saying. Because dieting, I think when we hear the word diet, we instantly have this like notion to push back against that because dieting sounds like we're restricting ourselves. Mm, I had something in my tooth. Sorry. Cut it out. We're good. All right. So moving on. Dieting means we are restricting ourselves. I don't restrict myself from anything, and I tell my patients the same thing. My diabetics, my heart patients, I don't care. Like, yes, if you eat a bunch of ham that's salty, you're going to like go into CHF. But that doesn't mean you can't eat things in moderation. So I still live by this motto, everything in moderation. But I do eat a lot cleaner. And I've been on this kick for, like I said, over a year, actually, probably a year and a half to 2 years now. But I'm not like super strict about it. So we make mostly homemade foods here. I cut out all of the seed oils out of my diet. So I don't eat the seed oils. I don't eat a lot of sugar, other than the fact that I do drink wine. So obviously, wine is full of sugar. That's probably going to be my next venture is to try and cut back on some of that a little bit. But other than that, I don't eat a lot of sweets. I cut out the seed oils. I don't eat low carb. I still eat carbs, but I try to do like healthier carbs. I try to do lots of protein if I can. I don't get enough protein and I don't get enough fruits and vegetables. But obviously, it's a journey, right? So, this is one step that you can take towards starting to feel better because I've cut out a lot of the processed foods. I still love my pizza. I think I've talked about it before on the podcast. I still love my pizza. That's never going to change. Like I'm still going to eat pizza occasionally. I try to limit it to like once a week. I don't eat the fast food like I used to eat. I don't eat that stuff. Um, you know, except in moderation. Occasionally, like I think I had what was it? I had a Big Mac. I'm a sucker for a Big Mac. I used to eat them all the time from McDonald's. They're so freaking delicious, but it's Frankenfood, right? There's a reason that a Big Mac tastes the same at Athens McDonald's as it does in New York because it's Frankenfood. It's full of like shit that's not even nourishing our bodies, but they're so good. So I ate one like a couple months ago. First one I had in probably a year was so good, but I felt like shit afterwards. But it's okay. everything in moderation. So that's the first step. That is the first step to feeling a little bit better is start to eat clean. So if you want like one tip that I could tell you as far as eating cleaner, I would say cut out the seed oils. That's your vegetable oils, your soybean oils. You can go to olive oil or avocado oil. Now, I will say olive oil is a hell of a lot more expensive. Here where I live, a bottle of olive oil is around $15, $16. You can buy avocado oil that's only about $6. So obviously it's a couple more dollars than vegetable oil, but it's going to make you feel so much better because seed oils cause fucking cancer. Like we all know this. It's pretty known fact now. So stop using vegetable oil, stop using soybean oil, go to avocado or olive oil. That's all you gotta do. That if I had one tip to give you, that would be number one tip. The other tip I would have is to start limiting your sugars too. Stop eating all the sweets. That's another good tip for this. So that's the eating aspect of this. The second thing that I've noticed after like the gardening and all the things I've been doing is the sunlight. Being in the sun, there is something about getting that vitamin D, even if it's only for a short time during the day, that makes your body feel so good. We need it for our nourishment, we need it for our skin, we need it for our cells. Like everything about vitamin D is awesome, right? And yes, you can take a supplement, but let me tell you something. I had a supplement for vitamin D, and you want to know what it showed in the ingredients? And this is, I'm probably all over the place. Sorry, maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. But I was looking at my ingredients when I bought vitamin D because I know I don't get enough. So I was like, okay, like a few months back when I had the flu back in like February, I decided to buy some vitamin D. You want to know what one of the ingredients in the vitamin D tablets I bought over the counter from Big Pharma, vitamin D, soybean oil. Okay, so if you're gonna buy a supplement, look at the ingredients because you would be shocked at what ingredients are in there. I'm going to have another podcast regarding this because as I was filling my mom's pills, I saw some ingredients in her supplements that was like we know cause cancer. So anyway, we'll get to that in future podcasts. But vitamin D does so much for your body and it will make you feel so rejuvenated. It's insane. The third step here is the activity, moving your body. So, like I said, I've been out there, I've been gardening, I've been planting flowers, I've been doing all these things for people. And the fact that I've been moving my body, like, has just rejuvenated me so much. So, I don't like to call it exercise because I feel like when we say exercise, we all have, again, it's kind of like the dieting word, right? We have this like association with words where we're kind of like, oh, exercise and dieting sounds like restrictive, right? It sounds like it's a restrictive thing. Like we don't want to do it. But if you just say eating cleaner or moving your body, it just sounds better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but that's how it sounds to me. So that's what I say, moving my body. So like, even if it's just down on my knees, like picking out weeds from the dirt, I'm still moving my body, right? And I have to get up and walk to the next spot I move to or crawl or whatever I want to do. And I'm moving my body. And this has been a game changer for me. My mood has improved. My stamina has improved. Like I'm noticing I'm able to do more now. All of these things have just improved my mood so much. And I wanted to share them with you. Obviously, meditation is a good one too. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've said it before. Meditation is always great, but the three I really wanted to focus on was the eating cleaner, the moving your body, and getting in the sunlight. So if you would have asked me a couple months ago about this stuff, I would have been like, yeah, I know what the science says, but whatever. But since I've been doing it, it's crazy. And I'm not saying you have to get out in a garden or plant flowers, but if you can just get out for a walk a half an hour a day, it's going to improve your mood so much. So today, like yesterday was my last day at GoodWorks gardening. So today I'm like at home and I'm just like, I wanted to be in the dirt. Like I just wanted to be on my hands and knees in the dirt in my yard. So we're still having trouble getting my garden going because my soil where we wanted to put the garden at is really clay. It's like clay. I think there was like a house there before or something. And so it's very like clay-like soil, and the tiller wouldn't work. And then the tiller ended up breaking on us, and I don't even have the tiller anymore. So I'm gonna buy a hand tiller. Anyway, long story short, if that doesn't work, I'm moving it out back of my house, and we're just gonna go with that. But I was like so like I was literally crying because I wanted to do my garden today and I couldn't do it. So I decided to work on my flower bed and we planted a bunch of flowers. So I'm just excited to see those come up. And it just, as much as it is hard work, obviously, it wears you out. Like I feel so good. So good. Like I just feel alive, And again, you don't have to go out in the garden. You don't have to do the things I'm doing. It's following whatever your passion is or whatever you feel called to do. This could be walking your dog, it could be taking a walk by yourself, but you really need to get out in the sunlight and you need to move your body because I mean there's science behind this. And I'm here to tell you firsthand that even if you don't believe the science, just try it and you'll see for yourself. So the other thing I wanted to touch on with this subject is, and I know again, I'm all over the place and I get that. So I hope you are following along with me. But this kind of goes along with something I've mentioned, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it in previous podcasts, and that is a soul pool. So what is a soul pool? And this is different than like what your life quote unquote purpose is. A lot of people want to know, what's my life purpose? What's this? What's that? A soul pull is different. A soul pull is something that you just feel called to do, and it doesn't always have to mean it's what you're meant to do as far as business, or it doesn't mean it's like not always meaning like it's what you're gonna do for a living or anything like that. A soul pull just means something that you feel called to do, and it's like a passion that is burning inside of you, right? So for me, that has obviously started to come to fruition with me, and it is gardening and being out in the dirt and planting and the gardening with flowers and with vegetables. And this is something I didn't know I had. It's a passion I just recently discovered by doing this volunteer work with Good Works. So, like following that soul pool, like you never know where it's going to lead you, but all it means is like you're following something that you feel like you just need to do. Like today, when my tiller broke, when we couldn't get the yard tilled, and then my tiller broke, which if you're not a gardener, just so you know, a tiller is like what you have to, it's like got like blades on it, and it's like what you have to do to like till up the yard so like it can be the soil gets moved and soft and you can plant stuff, right? So when all of that happened, I literally was sitting on my couch and I started to cry because I was like, I just want to have this fucking garden. I need to have the garden. And like, you don't have, I mean, you can do a garden without having it in your ground. You can get like raised beds and just like get like potting soil and stuff and like throw it in the raised bed and do a garden that way. But I was like, no, like, I want to be like on the ground that God created, on the ground that is like earth, nature. Like a raised flower bed to me, it was like, no, that's like, I'm just like throwing dirt in there and it's like a man-made structure because it's like a raised bed, like whatever. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want to be on the ground. Like, so that is like a soul pool. Like, that's what I need. That is like my passion right now. That's like what I have to have. So that is like a soul pull. So I just wanted to touch on this because I've talked about it before, and I just want you to know that a soul pull doesn't have to be like a business idea. It doesn't have to be like it could turn into that. Your soul pull could lead you to that, but it's whatever you're feeling passionate about. Bashar talks about this. If you are familiar with Bashar, you've heard him talk about it. If you're not familiar with him, go look him up on YouTube. But Bashar talks about this a lot. Like it's following your passion. You don't know where that passion is going to lead you, but it's following that passion. And for me, right now in this moment, that passion is just a being outside in the dirt and planting flowers and planting vegetables and just being one with nature. So I don't know. That's all I have to say. So to recap this podcast, you want to feel better, you want to live longer, you need to eat cleaner, and you get some vitamin D and move your body. Those three things, I'm telling you, If you do these three things, you will be healthier, you will feel better, it will help you with depression, it will help you with anxiety, it will help your skin, which right now, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm a little bit burnt because I didn't have sunscreen on, but whatever, it's fine. It will help you in so many areas of your life. Do it. Do it. What do you have to lose, right? We always have time to do it. We always have time. So, anyway, it is Mother's Day today. It is Sunday, May 11th, as I am recording this. So, tomorrow, when this goes out, which will be Monday, we will be past Mother's Day. But I still want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the wonderful, wonderful mothers out there. And I hope you had a marvelous Sunday. And if any dads are watching this or listening to this, then yeah, happy early Father's Day to you. So that's all I have for you this evening. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful week. We have a new moon coming up, which is going to be pretty potent. Recharge your crystals, get out in the moonlight and just enjoy this beautiful world that we all live in. And I love you guys so much. So, so much. So connect with me on Facebook if you have any gardening tips or flower planting tips or anything like that. I'm up to hearing them because I'm new at this journey and I'm still learning. And yeah, let's be friends because I love connection and that is what makes the world go round. So until next time, I am Chrissy signing off. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Mwah.